up hitting the wall and the car flipped over. During my recovery, I reached 515 pounds.
Now, transformation you have to see to believe.
Over 78 million adults in the U.S. are obese. Our next guest, Sammy, was once part of that statistic, weighing over 500 pounds. That is until a near-death experience finally served as his wake-up call.
I really started getting heavy when I was in 3rd grade. Pizza, hamburgers, hot dogs. I heard the fat jokes, insults. Hey, fatso. When I was 14 years old, my mother was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer. And 2 months after I turned 18 years old, she passed away. It was devastating. And that was really the tipping point in my weight gain. It got to the point where I was eating up to 6 pizzas a day, 24 mozzarella sticks, onion rings, and french fries. I started working for a restaurant, so I got the free food and it was just gorging. It happened many times when I go out, I would sit in a chair and it would break. So I hid myself away from the world. And by the time I was 24 years old, I reached 480 pounds. 7 years ago, everything changed for me. I was a passenger in the vehicle, and we ended up hitting the wall on the freeway, and our car flipped over. I managed to get out, then the car was hit about 10 seconds after. When I went to the hospital, they said it was severe road rash, and the skin essentially came off my arm from wrist to shoulder, and I would most likely not having full viable use of my arm. During my recovery, I reached 515 pounds. I felt hopeless and thinking this is the end. But 3 months after the time of the accident, my arm did start feeling better. I figured if I improve my weight, I can improve my arm. So it was at that point where I decided I need to change everything and to get out of this hole I put myself in. I focused on diet, no bread, meat-based, veggie-based. I couldn't afford the gym, so the best option was walking. I would park at the end of the parking lot and walk to the grocery store, and then I would park a mile off campus. My first few months is when I lost 100 pounds. It was definitely encouraging. I started developing new goals. Let's get below 300, assimilating into a normal life. I'm very happy and proud of myself for all the weight that I lost. However, there's been a side effect from the weight loss that I've been really struggling with.
Let's take a look at Sammy before at over 500 pounds. Are you all ready to see him now?
Yes.
Sammy, come on out. So
Sammy,
you look fantastic.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You've lost more than half of your body weight.
I have. I'm currently down 285.
285 pounds?
And how do you feel?
Oh, man, beyond belief, way better. I mean, opposite, 180.
So I think your story is fantastic and impressive because you really had some major setbacks. You lost your mom, then you had this horrible accident.
Yes.
How did this then bring you to this realization to lose the weight?
I mean, you know, when I got injured in my car accident, the doctor essentially told me that I wasn't going to have viable use of my arm again. And, you know, I didn't like what he said. And as a typical Taurus, I was pretty stubborn and wanted to set about proving him wrong, you know, so I made that kind of the foundation upon which I built the rest of my life. And from there, I just focused on diet and health, and that's how I am today.
How is your arm now?
Amazing.
Much better. You know, I still have some pain, discomfort, but for the most part, I have it 95% back.
Oh, that's great.
But you did this without even joining a gym. So tell us about how you exercised and what your regimen was like.
You know, I couldn't afford a gym, so I figured walking was the best option. My friends introduced me to the Rose Bowl, and 1 lap at the Rose Bowl would be 3 miles. So I figured if I were to do that daily, 3-mile repetition would be wonderful.
And you know, that's a great tip, and I'm not sure if someone that we've had on the show, a guest who's lost a lot of weight, just said, hey, I didn't need a gym, I didn't need anything fancy, I walked.
Yeah, these little things added up.
Yeah, if you walk and you change the way you eat, that's all you need to do, and you're living proof of that. But you also had some help along the way.
Oh, definitely. You know, seeing that I have too many family members, especially after the passing of my mother, my coworkers at Rice Avenue were beyond supportive, unconditional love and support. And I mean, I don't know if I would be here today without them.
I'm really glad you had that support system. I want to introduce everyone watching to that support system. In the audience, your extended family at Rice Avenue Restaurant, Peggy and Charm both join us. Thank you for what you did for Sammy. What's it like sitting there in the audience, seeing him up here on stage right now, 285 pounds lighter?
Unbelievable. So proud of him. You know, especially it takes a lot of willpower and discipline. And especially you work in the restaurant environment. You know, that we have all kind of food and smells of the, you know, good food. And, you know, he can resist, you know, of those.
But I understand,
be
Peggy
so
and Charn,
proud.
you actually prepared very healthy meals with him and for him too in your restaurant, correct?
Yeah, well, we never think that he as a worker. You know, we think he, you know, part of our family.
That's pretty awesome. That's really a great story. Sammy, you mentioned at the end of that tape piece that despite all the gains you've made, you're still struggling with something. What is that?
You know, after I lost all my weight, I ended up being left with a great deal of loose skin. And I've had estimates of 20 to 30 pounds of loose skin.
And no matter what, you can't exercise that off. Well, Sammy, I want you to look up there. We have a surprise message for you from plastic surgeons Dr. Ashkan Ghavami and Glenn Vallecillos. I want you to take a look.
Hi, Sammy. Wanted to just say, first off, congratulations. We actually can't believe it. We're so proud of you that you accomplished this. We are going to hook you up with this surgery. You've done phenomenal losing that weight. It's unbelievable what you've been able to accomplish. We're going to do this when you're ready for it and when we think that you're primed as far as your blood work, protein, your nutrition's up, and we'll proceed with the surgery.
And if you're a good candidate, Dr. Ghavami and Dr. Vallecillos are going to do this free of charge for you. Wow. Now, Dr. Vallecillos' Health and Wellness Director, Ashley Gnelzy, is going to provide you with nutrition coaching. Sounds like you've already learned a lot, but there's always more to learn, as we have learned hosting the show. Also, the fitness app Sworkit wants to help. They're going to give you $2,000 toward recovery care, plus a lifetime membership, which includes access to a certified personal trainer who's going to help you stay on track on your fitness journey. And all I would say to you is your attitude is pretty awesome. And I know why you two fell in love with him, not just as a worker, but as your family. And your future, we are so excited for it. And best of luck. And we look forward to you hopefully coming back after the surgery and assuming you're a good candidate and showing yourself off to the world.
Thank you very much, guys.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you very much.